Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day. It's Crazy Bush. Crazy Bush, but he's not going to really be bushed for any part of this game. Or maybe he will. Let's see. There's just going to be... this is like... It's all going to happen really fast, guys. We're going to actually enjoy 3 games today. And as you can tell, the video is not any longer than normal. Because this is like real World of Tanks, okay? This is the average game in World of Tanks these days. Shot the cross, he says. Shot the cross. He is doing some active spotting. Whoop, he does a turn, a 37 G-force turn. But oh, another one, right? But that's okay because the French people that drive this tank are astronauts. So when the tank's going 100 kilometers an hour and turns around and like that, it's no problem. They've trained for it, like the lunar astronauts and whatever. So that guy was doing some passive spotting, and he did some active spotting. So he actively spotted the enemy EBR out of there. Whoa! Another 30 G-force turn. So let's just watch. This is of course. Whoa! Yeah, this is very good. What he's doing. For those of you who want to learn the mechanic, right? This is how physics. When he takes the turbo off, he can do that, right? If he's got turbo on, the turn is a little wider, but he does not have the turbo turned on, so he's only going 65, 70 kilometers an hour when he does. Try that in your Maserati, and see. Let me know how it works. Now go into a parking lot and go 70 kilometers an hour and go. And let me know how it works out for you. But these tanks, it's just it's a mechanic, right? Here he goes, and I think he's turned the turbo on now. He's turned the turbo on. Now, how many people here are EBR players? How many people actually play the EBR? Let me know. I played the EBR, and what I enjoyed was just going and killing the SPG players. I would just this was my strategy. The game starts and I would just sit motionless for 30 seconds. Why? Because after about 30 seconds most of the players would move to... There's usually 2 flanks in World of Tanks, right? Some players would move to the east flank, some players would move to the west flank. And they'd get set up. After about 30 seconds, people are set up. In the old days, it would take like 2 minutes, but the tanks are faster now. In 30 seconds, everyone's set up. And the SPGs are at the back in the usual spot, right? So after about 30 seconds, and people are set up, then I would straight up the middle at 100 kilometers an hour. Ignore everyone. Do a little dipsy doodling. And within 10 seconds I'd cross the map and it would be me versus the 1, 2, or 3 SPGs. And I'd kill them. As you guys... And I'm surprised more people don't do that. Because I guess they're worried about their WN8. And after I'd kill the SPGs, I'd just let the enemies kill. I did this in when I had a sheriff's account. And then I would just let the enemies kill me after that, right? But they'd have to play the game without SPGs. You guys remember that? I had like a 90% success rate. So if you own an EBR, try that. You don't have to go out and rush. Like this guy's was going to single-handedly result in all the spotting. And the game will be over in 4 minutes here. We'll move to the next one. But wait about 30 seconds till the enemies deploy. They go to their choke points. Then go straight up the middle of the map to where the SPGs are, if there's 1 or 2. And kill them. I'm surprised. When I did those videos, and I did it on stream, people started doing it. And some people that play the game that are very serious about the game got upset. Some were upset about the change in the meta. What is this? How long has it been? Let's see. How long is this game going to last? Let me know how much skill was involved in this game, guys. And The real question is only first class for finishing on top with 1176 XP and doing almost 11,000 spotting assists. So I guess 11,000 spotting assists in a clown car is not good enough for Ace Tanker, and the game lasted under 5 minutes. And I guess when you introduce tanks in the game that can go 100 kilometers an hour, and all the other tanks get buffed, and the DPM is increased, and the purple equipment is introduced, and the field mods are introduced, and all that stuff. So the damage output is much, much higher. The tanks are much, much faster. Well, what do you expect would happen? So 5 minutes is kind of like
it's our responsibility to ensure
it's kind of a normal game, right? In that particular game, the 2 light tanks on the enemy team kind of went into a poor position. He had a lucky shot on the move. He spotted them. His teammates took out the light tanks, and it was over. They killed the 2 enemy light tanks in about 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and that was it. The game, the game's over after that. Then he could just drive around like a clown anywhere without being countered. 11,000 spotting assist in under 5 minutes. What do you expect will happen, Wargaming? Hey, I got an idea. No, here's a question. If you're struggling to understand the concept, let's say they introduced tanks in the game that could go 200 kilometers an hour. Okay, because the EVR can go 100, a little less, 95 or something. But let's say they introduce a class of tanks that can go 200 kilometers an hour. That was a nice clip. What do you expect would happen? Would the game get slower or faster?
I don't know. We have to do some testing. Let's say we introduce a line Russian light wheeled tanks with 2 barrels that can go 240 kilometers an hour. I wonder if that will affect the game.
And I say once again, it's not rocket science. It's not, right? This guy's making the best out of his clips. Like, beautiful. This is good. This is good, right? Well, what do you expect when you give a tank 6, 7 shots? Well, how many shots does he have? 1, 2, 3, 6 shots. He's got a couple more. I'll just take that one more. He's got 6 shots that can do 400 damage. What do you expect would happen? What's 6 times 4, Wargaming? 24. He can do 2,400 damage in a matter of seconds. What did you expect would happen? We have to do some testing. We're not sure if this will affect the game. We've got some tanks that can do 2,400 damage in a few seconds if someone's spotted. And, then we'll put some tanks in that can go 100 kilometers an hour and spot people in the first 15 seconds of the game. I'm not really sure if that will affect the gameplay at all. We need to do some testing. Yeah, I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be balanced.
Enemy is hit. We turn them into scrap metal. That's what they get for poor planning.
Shall we say it together? Wargaming? What did you expect would happen?
One of our tracks is almost incapacitated.
I just laugh. You have to laugh, right? You have to laugh. Some things are just undeniably true. Like, it's just, you don't have to study the problem, right? It's like there's another one, an autoloader. He's got 4 shots that can do 360 damage per shot. Or what do you expect would happen? Do you think he'll do damage faster or slower? Our government, I think, spent $58 million to study the effects of eating too much Junk food. So they had a task force. Like in the 2024. After 54 millions of study, they say eating lots of junk food is probably not good for you, was the conclusion. They We're wondering whether we should restrict the amount of sodium and fat and chemicals that we're going to do a study. Is eating potato chips and drinking fruit sodas good for you? We did a study. We took a rat and we made him eat 12 pounds of potato chips every day. And after 2 weeks, the rat died. Therefore, like, what? There's something. What do you expect would happen?
Penetration.
We need to study it. We need to. we need some statistics. I like to be a fly on the wall in the Wargaming boardrooms when they're going over the statistics of some of the changes they've made. Why don't you just shoot? You've got one. Just shoot. He's waiting for the kill? Yeah, he's waiting for the kill. There you go. He wants Top Gun. It's funny. There you go. Just... How long is this game? Well, this game's gone on a long time. Right? This game, because you're not moving. Don't you know that you're supposed to just drive forward and kill everyone? Just go. Is he going to get the last kill, guys? Is he going to get the last kill? He's... whoa! 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 Oh! 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 Yes. No, he didn't get it. The double gun got it. He aced the tank. Panzer kill. He did 7,771. Pretty good. 6 kills. Let's see that in the right order there. The double gun Russian tank came in second. And, and Wargaming got all their credits back. And that was an average game, right? That was an average game length. 6.5 minutes. And it's the phenomena, guys, I'll explain the phenomena without any embellishing or conspiracy theories or anything like that. This is just the phenomena is that everything's become more powerful and faster. The maps haven't got any bigger. And when there's a mistake made, the snowball starts very quickly, right? In that first game, you saw how 2 light tanks on the enemy team, for some reason they went to the same spot, which was stupid. And they were countered. They made a mistake. The EBR that we watched his replay, he went there, he just spotted them, because he's a clown guy. Woo, he spotted them. And they evaporated. So the 2 enemy light tanks made a mistake. And the team paid heavily for that mistake, because from then on, boom, the game's over. It snowballs. The enemy team is at such a huge disadvantage. They have no more eyes. They can't. There's no one to spot. There's no one to counter any of the movements. And that EBR can just drive around and do whatever it wants. Game snowballs to just 5-minute blowout. Right? The second game, this guy with huge firepower goes to the flank where there's usually kind of a choke point. The enemies, they were so eager to kill that one player that they exposed themselves, and he unloaded his DPM. Just 2 clips, basically 2 clips, and the flank is lost. And the enemy team, they're not pushing the other flank, and they're at complete disadvantage in the first 2 minutes. They flank around, they completely surround them, and it took 6 minutes. Right? It would not be possible if there wasn't a tank that could shoot 2,400 worth of damage in a few seconds. But the mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. Mistakes cost you, or the team, a lot more now than they did when this game was young. Remember when you were young, right? Or whatever. What? In the old days, if your team made a mistake, you were much more. It wasn't as critical. You you had much more time to correct the mistake, or it didn't snowball into a complete shit show so quickly because the damage wasn't dished out as quickly. So okay, made a mistake. One of our light tanks got killed. The other guy he has time to retreat because they're not firing at him so fast. You go to the wrong flank, the other flank's open. Okay, we got time because they're not going to steamroll us. The tanks aren't moving at 70 kilometers an hour. They're only moving at 25. Blah, blah, blah. Now, mistakes. So I guess there is a little bit of truth to the fact, you know how some people say, well, it's the players. The reason there's a lot of blowouts is because players suck. And I guess you could look at it as partly true. Right? Some players make mistakes. Boom! If you're the one light tank on your team, and you're on a map that light tanks are important, and you screw up and die in the first tank, then, you know, oh, he sucked. He cost us the game. You know, there's some truth to that. But when you say that, you know, when people say, well, the players suck, that's why there's lots of blowouts now, they tend to imply that, well, the players suck now, that in the old days they didn't suck. No, that's not true. They sucked in the old days too. Players have sucked in this game since it started. It's just that in the old days, when you sucked, the team had more time to recoup, and you didn't pay for your mistakes as badly as you do now. Oh yeah, this guy's smart. He's not gonna drive into a crossfire. This guy's smart. Very good. Players have always sucked. It's just that now mistakes are much more critical and lead to the snowball starting to roll down the mountain. It's much more difficult to recover from a blunder or an imbalance at the beginning of the game, right? And RNG has a lot to do with it too, because if that game starts and the what did we just watch, the Foch, you know, if his first two clips, Wargaming just decides, oh well, you know, this is going to be first two clips, shot hit dirt, shot go up in the air, shot bounce, shot hit dirt. Oh, so first clip you do 0. You know, you have your first two clips are, you know, you get that RNG sometimes, and the enemies, they don't get that and then you're dead, and then that's it. You know, you're on fire. I'm sorry, but Papadanya. So you got a little bit of mismatch RNG at the beginning of the game, a little bit of an imbalance. Boom, snowballs. Oh look, guys, the game's over. And so this is what we have. The Spoiled Rooster, well done, 5,984 damage, right? And that was 5 minutes and 34 seconds. These are the average games today in World of Tanks, guys. All that stuff you see on other content providers' channels, and mine. You know, I like to show the close games because they're more exciting, but I have to show you this every now and then, that this is reality, right? It's not... It's like when you see the ad for the Big Mac, 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. Whoa, it's this high. You deserve a break today. The stuff, right? So you go there and you order one. It's this high in the ad, right? But when you buy it, they put it in a box. It's that high. It's squashed down. The special sauce is coming out. The pickle's so thin you can see through it. There's 2 pickles now instead of 1, but they're so thin. They're like paper. There's no pickle. It's mushed. The patty's off this side. The cheese is all dribbling out the other side. The bun's all like moisty, like there's special sauce in the bread. It's disgusting. It's false advertising. You gonna buy the new car? This car's for you. Get yourself, have you been behind the wheel of a blah, blah, blah lately? And, you know, they got the commercial. The water is on the road. The road is wet. The car's coming around the corner. And then they zoom into the inside of the car, and it's a young girl, and her friend's on the phone, and she's like talking to her, and she goes, "We're late." "Oh, it's okay. I'll just go a little fast." Right? And the car's just doing around the corner, and then in small print it says there, the car that you purchase in this model may not be as depicted in this ad. Please drive safely. Come on. That's and so the takeaway, the question is then, what did you expect would happen?